Happy Monday if you're watching this on Monday. We are going to be doing a workout today, and I'm also going to be talking about life, but we're going to go through a lot of underrated core movements and also show why they are necessary and why these simple things are going to literally help you live longer. There's a statistic out there, and I'm not sure the percentage, but that as you get older, the risk of having a fatal fall, so that means like falling down the stairs or tripping over something and getting impaired or injured, that really takes you down and can even cause death, I know, super dramatic, really goes up. But there's things that we can do to prevent that. So while I know the core is, everyone wants a six pack and they want the whole look aesthetically piece of that, the core is a huge piece of the stability part of our body that is going to allow us to live longer, but you have to use it properly. And these are a lot of simple moves that we tend to avoid. So I'm going to go through that today. And as we go through the workout today, I'm also going to talk about a story that I went through on this thing. I did something called a story walk the other day, and I want to tell you the story so that it opens up your eyes a little bit more onto what you're looking at as important and why it's maybe not as important as you think for you to have higher productivity levels and things along those lines. So let's come on back. Hands on our knees. We're going to start with arch of the back, pushing through, rounding the spine. Inhale. Exhale. So the story that I'm going to tell you is going to blow your mind. It blew my mind. And it's about a lumberjack. I know. You're like, Angela, what the hell? Lumberjack. Awesome. Next move, we're going to take our hand behind our neck, open up wide, look up to the ceiling, place the other arm behind your back, twist. And this lumberjack, well, there's two lumberjacks. And they're cutting all these pieces of wood, and they have to meet like their quota, right? They got to get a certain amount of wood chopped by the end of the day, which is a really vigorous type of movement, you know, chopping pieces of wood. Other side. So the one lumberjack, he's chopping the wood all day, going nuts, because he's got to get this done. The other lumberjack, let's switch on back to a child's pose, hand nice and wide, take your right arm over the left and hold it, sink down into it. Well, he, every 10 minutes or, or so, goes off and disappears for 10 minutes and isn't chopping any wood. He just literally is gone. And the other guy's like, what is this guy doing? Like, why is he disappeared in the wood? He's got to get this quota and get this stuff done. So that happens a ton throughout the day. And the lumberjack that's been working all day is basically at his limit. Push back, pedal out the feet. And when they go to tell their boss how much, wood they had chopped, the guy who had chopped all day had 80 pieces of wood. Roll it on forward, chest up tall. Ooh. But the guy who had disappearing, chest up tall, toes up, he had 100. But yet he didn't look like he was working as hard because he was like disappearing and going off and doing his thing. Come on, back pedal it out. So it's kind of like the guy was like, what the hell? Like, what were you doing when you disappeared then? Like, was someone cheating or helping you? And he's like, no. He's like, I was sharpening my axe. And I think that's a great story to think about with life. Let's warm up our wrists a little bit, clap our hands together, because we think that if we just work hard, and we don't stop, grab into a ball, that we're going to get more done, we're going to be more successful. But those small moments of sharpening your own axe, which may be going for a walk or getting some movements in, you're actually going to be more productive and more successful. Shake it on out. But we don't look at it that way, right? Because we're this like hustle culture, hustle life type situation. So I thought that was a really great story. And I want you to think about that today as we're doing some of these movements. Into a ball. And realize that, the picture you might have been painted of, going all day and putting your needs last and not sharpening your axe is actually not a way to live. And you're going to enjoy your life more. You're going to be more productive. You're going to get more things done by taking the opportunity to take a step away throughout the day and take those breaks, to take the walk, to get the movement in. And I thought that was a very clear picture of that right there. Okay, so movements we're going to go through today. I'm going to teach you how to use your core properly Now I have a Core Revolution program. This is a 30-day program where you literally click play and do follow along workouts with me. And I teach you how all sorts of, like, this is just the tip of the iceberg here that we're gonna go over. So if you would like to get that, I'm gonna put the link down below for you to purchase. There's definitely a coupon code down there. There should be. If not, give me a comment and get it. You have it forever and it will literally change your life. So we're gonna go through some breathing exercises. I'm gonna teach you how to actually use your core properly. And then we're gonna kind of put them all together. And all these movements are meant to be done slow and control. And if you perfect these movements now, you can say suck, if you stay up and stay consistent with them, it's going to translate into everyday life where if you do trip and fall, you have a more likelihood of a chance of not actually having a fatal fall because of these movements. Wild, right? I'm saving your lives. All right, so let's come onto our back. We're gonna put our feet at 90 degrees. Take your hand, put it behind your back, and I want you to inhale. Exhale all the way out. Squeeze your glutes. And do it again. Inhale. Exhale. All the way out. Squeeze the glutes. As you're doing that, you should notice with your hand underneath your back that cave that you had under there is being pushed down to the floor, and you're actually feeling your core engaged. So do that 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Oh, yeah. Inhale. Exhale. Now these are working those really deep core muscles that we're neglecting. You can get really damn good at controlling your core while doing movements on the floor that we're going to be doing. It's going to go, again, translate into every single movement that you do in life, in fitness, all sorts of shit, and it's going to get rid of that back pain if you have any. So we're going to do that now. We're going to add on some movements. We're going to inhale, exhale, all the way out. I want you to take your hands, bring them up. I want you to place them on your knees, and I want you to push into each other. So this is pushing in so hard that if I were to come next to you right now, I wouldn't be able to rip them apart. So inhale, exhale, push them in. The back is on the ground. Hold, squeeze the glutes. You should still be squeezing the glutes. Your back should be flat. And now you should feel this fire in your core that you may have never felt in your entire life. Take a second and relax. This might take a while to perfect and get good at, and you might feel like you're suffocating the first couple times you're doing it because you're not really sure how to breathe. But again, we're gonna get this to become second nature, but you have to do this consistently, which is why, again, Core Revolution is a great way to do this because you can literally just click play, do the workouts every day for 30 days, and people repeat that program multiple times and have seen so much changes in their body. So feet 90 degrees again, hands on your knees, inhale. Exhale all the way out. Hold, and maybe you're shaking. You're shaking a little bit. You're holding. And you close your eyes. Feel the core engaging. Feel the push into your hands and the hands on the knees. Push it. Hold. Oh, come on out. Take a second. And breathe. We're gonna do the same thing. Okay, and don't try and hold that for as long as you possibly can and get sloppy with it. Hold it for small amounts of time and do it really, really well. Okay? You're gonna get much more out of that than trying to hold this for like a minute and like sucking at it. Like, do a little bit less and you're gonna get more out of it. Bring the legs up. We're gonna do this again, but now we're gonna add some movement, right? Because in everyday life, when we use our core, we're not gonna just be laying on a floor like a dead bug, right? We're gonna be like moving our legs and our arms. We need our core to stay stable there. So, hands on the knees, knees on the hands. Inhale. Exhale. Squeeze the glute. Your core is lit up on fire. Keep your right hand and your right leg attached, but then extend the other ones out. Keep this core engaged and then bring it back in. Let's just stay here. And I want you to go slow. I want you to make sure that your hand on your knee and your knee on your hand is completely straight. Your head is on the floor. Oof. It's fired up. And we're gonna take a break in 3, 2, and 1. Take a second. I notice I'm just laying on the floor after. If that is not firing up right now, you're doing it wrong. Go back, do it slower. Okay? If your hip is popping, that is normal, but that also might mean that your core is not engaged enough yet. But again, this takes time. So the same thing again, feet up, arms up, inhale. Exhale all the way out. Hands on the knees, knees on the hands. You're pushing really, really hard. Your core is engaged. You're fired up. You're gonna keep this left arm and the left knee pressed into each other
and extend the other side out now, bringing it in. Again, arm is completely straight. Your head is on the floor, so don't lift that head up. I know you're gonna wanna do that. And you might be like, holy shit, she knows me. Don't lift the head up, the head is on the floor. We're focusing on our core, we're not focusing on that part. Keep extending. We're almost there. 3, 2, and 1. Come on out. You should be fired up in your core right now from holding, from extending. Do that in the middle of the day. We're gonna get to the next move as soon as I change this battery. Okay, we're back. We've got a full battery. Okay, so next piece we're gonna do is we're gonna do some heel taps, and we're gonna use that same breath that we just used again. So let's lay on back, feet at 90 degrees, arms up, inhale. Exhale all the way out. Squeeze the glutes, hands on the knees, knees on the hands. Let's just hold that so we get that engagement. Take the hands out, you can just lift them up here. We're gonna tap the heels down, but we're gonna keep this core engaged. So if there starts to be a cave that comes out in your back, then I only want you to go like as far as that happens. So even if it's only like a little bit like this, that's fine, it's better. So inhale, exhale. Go to where you can with keeping this back flat. That's the focus. The focus is keeping this flat, keeping it engaged. I don't want you putting your hands underneath your back or your butt. I don't know why everybody does that. That's not helping you. A few more seconds. Core is engaged. You're squeezing everything. You're squeezing your core. You're pushing the back to the ground. You're tapping the heels to the ground. Notice how you're feeling it much more in your core now. Good, come on out, take a break. So yeah, I don't like when you put your hands behind your back, like this whole situation, stop that shit. Stop it, it's not helping you. Okay, if you need to do this, that means that you need to regress the movement and you need to put your ego aside so you actually use your core. This isn't gonna do shit for you. All right, so take them out if they're there and just go down as far as you can where you can actually keep your back to the ground. That's how you're going to progress and you're going to get much more out of that. Let's do it again, arms up. Inhale. Exhale all the way out. Squeeze the glutes. And go to where you can. We're going slow here. Your glutes are squeezed the entire time. Your back is on the ground. Your head is on the ground. Keep going, keep tapping. And again, the better we get at these movements, it's going to translate into everyday life because your body's just going to know from doing it on the floor and being really consistent with it and it being so familiar. And that's going to prevent you from having those falls and tripping. It's going to literally make you live longer. Back pain's going to magically disappear because we decided to take a step back and slow some shit down. We decided to sharpen our axe and take our time with it. 2 and 1, come on out. How's that feel? Are you like, oh shit, okay. All right, so the next move we're gonna do, and there's tons of other movements, I'm only giving you literally just a taste of the movements and things that we can do in order to strengthen our core. So again, head over, go grab that core evolution program. It's super affordable, you keep it forever, and you can do it over and over and over again. So another thing is that, did you know that if you can't stand on a single leg, for more than 10 seconds, even more likely to a chance of falling and having a fatal fall and dying. Dramatic, I know. But it's something we overlook. And why single leg? Single legs is gonna help with your core. It's also like when we're walking upstairs, we're on a single leg, right? When we're walking, we're on a single leg. If we're about to trip and fall, we're on a single leg. If we can catch our balance, we're gonna save ourselves. So next thing I want us to do is stand up tall, hands on our hips. I want you to bring your knee up to your belly and just hold. And within this time, if you need to tap your foot, go for it, but I want you to just hold for now. If while you're doing this, you're like, this is easy, Angela, then I want you to close your eyes and try and do it without your vision. And just hold. Chest up tall. Woo, my eyes closed. It's a wild ride. Keep holding. And let's switch it to the other side. Lift it up, chest up tall. Breathe. Ah! Keep holding. Few more seconds. Awesome, come on out. If you're watching this and if you're watching this on YouTube right now, I'd love for you to comment down below. Were you able to hold it? Were you not? Were you like, oh shit, actually, that was a lot harder than I thought. That, believe it or not, is your core muscles. That is using your core. We just tend to not think about it. We're gonna do it again. This time, eyes closed if you can. If not, if you're not ready for that, that's okay. Chest up tall. We're gonna add a little movement to the foot. So we're gonna lift the leg up. We're gonna open it wide and then bring it back in. I want everything, your torso, to stay nice and straight. This is called anti-rotation. And why this is important. If we're just like, wow, with our body and turning it with it. Again, let's say you're about to go trip and fall and your body's it's turning in a direction. You'll be able to come back to the stable position that you're doing right now. Helping you have a stronger core, helping you actually see results, get rid of your back pain, and live longer. Let's switch to the other side. This should be a huge test that they should do in the doctor's office. Lift up, open it. Another great indicator of overall health is your grip strength, which is why I teach pull-ups. If you haven't been in my page before, you know that's a big piece of what I do. And a lot of it is because I want you to know that having your good grip strength is going to make you live longer. Being able to stand on one leg is going to make you live longer. Stop not sharpening your own axe for other shit that doesn't actually matter. Because if you look back and you're like, oh shit, if I only would have taken care of myself just a little bit more, maybe I would have been able to enjoy life a little bit more. And I wouldn't have these health issues come up, right? Because what's more expensive than working on your health and getting a program is when you get freaking sick. A few more seconds. Awesome, and come on out. So again, today, a little bit of a short workout, but these are free workouts, so you're welcome for doing these for you. But if you have any requests or any questions, feel free to comment down below. Let me know how you're feeling. Did you feel that in your core? Where you're like, oh shit, that did fire up. Where you're like, oh shit, you're right, I'm not sharpening my axe enough, and maybe I should so that I could feel better, live longer.